Hello, my name is Dominic Underhallhouse and welcome to another episode of Moonbreaker. Since the last time I've uploaded a video, I've had a couple of things off camera that I wanted to just share with you first of all. The first one you might be able to notice now is that there's no longer the unlistened to section on Extilior's little story there. So I really enjoyed that. It was a good little introduction to the character. I'm hoping to hear a lot more of it. I actually think what I might end up doing is when there are a few of them released at some point, just listening to them in a row. And of course, while I was doing that, I decided to do some painting as well. So the first thing I want to go to is we did have one of our paint schemes from the playtests, which was, if it loads up here. Here we are. So this was our Snareling paint scheme here, which I quite like. I'm still fairly happy with, but we went for a slightly different version here. So we've just gone from the green, a bit less highlighted, to we've gone to purple, a few more sort of spots along the arms and things. And personally, I think that colour matches a little bit nicer. So that was the first one there. And the other one, so I didn't realise until after the fact that there was a painting competition on for those to be done in primary colours. Now, I'm not going to enter. I mean, I might put the entry forward just to give other people ideas, but I'm not at the point where I'm ever going to win any competition on that front. However, I'm really happy with what we've done with Taurian Guardian over here. So I've tried to make Taurian Guardian go along the sort of a Phoenix style route here. We've tried to get the the hair to make it look like a reasonable colour with a bit of sort of white. So it's orange. We used the little cinder palette here mostly, and so we've gone for sort of the cinder there with a red wash and red dry brush and a white wash on there, which I quite like how that's turned out, and a similar sort of thing on the beard as well. We've gone for some sort of lighter colours and then glowing chest plates. So honestly, I'm really proud of myself for how this has come out. I am absolutely, not an artist in any way, shape or form. I started by doing this piece here and liked the sort of style and decided to go along with it across the whole outfit. And then I tried to make these bits here look sort of charcoaly with a little bit of a sort of slightly orangey white glow to them as well to keep the sort of flaming theme alive. So I'm really, really happy with that. I love how it's come out, and actually I don't think it looks too out of place in some of our lists as well. So I'm going to be probably using Taurian Guardian as often as I can. He's become one of my favourite models, and I'm looking forward to playing that more and more. So in the previous video as well, we were playing ahead on Rush, which is our just hyper aggro list. But what we want to do now is look at building something a little bit different. So I'm going to start by looking at Extilior. So we've used a couple of the other commanders. So I've used Zax in the playtest a couple of times. I haven't made good use of Extilior, and I think it's about time we do so. And what we want to do is find ways of being as aggressive with our champions, but in a way that still gives us play in the long game. So Crankbait is absolutely in. Not only can Crankbait move fast and pull Extilior to her, but can also pull enemies towards us. We're going to look at basically going for a little bit of immobilization synergy as well. So Jailbreak's coming in. We're going to bring in Crosshair for those potentially guaranteed crits. We're going to bring in Snareling to keep those immobilizations going as well. And basically some of the things with these three, it helps Extilior get into range, helps you make that movement there. On top of that, another way of getting into range is using Quetzali. So some people might not have seen too much of Quetzali yet, but I've really enjoyed it in the playtest and I want to try it again. Whenever an ally in range has depleted movement, refresh it, 5 remaining this turn. The thing it doesn't clarify is you can actually use this multiple times with the same unit. So for instance, if Extilior was over here, it could move into range for 1, over here for 2, you can move this up, Extilior moves again for 3, and then potentially that's in melee range of someone if you hit them there, and they can either move back, or if you need to get a little bit further again, you can move again. If you plan it properly, you can move probably half the battlefield in one turn, which is just incredible. So we've obviously got a couple of ranged units here, but we're wanting to focus mostly on melee. So Chuck and Co, I've considered it. However, the thing with Chuck and Co is it chucks people away from us, not towards us. So I'm not sure that's really what I'm going to be going for. I have seen someone using Rickety Backfire as a sort of just a big, cheap, hard hitter, but it just really hasn't impressed me with the just taking yourself down every single time. Switchback is one of my favourite just strong win conditions, but we've already said we're going to play Taurian Guardian. Now, Extilior as a captain has a couple of things about him that we need to consider, one of which being that he absolutely is going to be taking damage. So I'm going to put Toner Mystic Manteo. It seems a bit counterintuitive, but if we're trying to go straight at the opponent and run towards them, Extilior is going to be taking damage. This helps mitigate some of that as well. We could go Stitchum Patchy, but I'd rather keep the Cinder for other things as well. I'm bringing Switchback because Switchback is just one of the biggest damage outputs in the game. We're not going for any of the units that give things rapid fire or give things pummel, so we've got that little bit of difference there. But we were going to look at potentially, wherever it's gone. So Mequani Thicket is something I saw on day 9 stream, and it was amazing. I absolutely loved it. It just looked like it was, between other things with the mobilization and movement things, that just seems like a really fun unit to play. So we're going to play that as well. And then for a last little bit of damage, we're going to go with Amplifier Vital. So increasing the damage of everyone around. We've got, I say, an extra damage here. We should potentially consider bringing in Maximus. So Toner Mystic Manteo is the one that I consider swapping out. So I think I'm going to do that initially and just go for a more aggressive approach, because Maximus basically goes from 1 damage twice to 2 damage, which is huge with Amplify Vital. The interesting thing in this is that we do not have a cheap list. This is an expensive list and we know that. So what we're going to be looking at is trying to get assists that help us to that end. So we need to quickly look at this. We're going to round up. In fact, I actually already like that. That's fine. Keep that. I like that. So this is going to be a test. We're going to be for melee movement and hard hits, because we have got a lot of hard hitting units here, and I think Amplify Vital with these 2 other units here works really well. Turian Guardian keeps us protected while still wanting to move forwards. Quetzali gives us that movement. I think this could be a really fun roster to use. So we're going to take this straight into some PvP and see what happens. Again, need to be concerned about our curve, our cinder costs. They are quite high, so Extilior might just be on his own for a couple of turns running forwards, potentially bring out Maximus, but I think most of the time we're wanting to be saving our cinder early on.
Protect each other.
I think that's one of the things that could be one of the main changes, is wanting to reduce the cost across the list. For instance, Mequani Thicket is 6, Jailbreak's 4, Switchback is 5. As it stands now, we're not playing anything. So, Cinder Infusion I think might be what we want here. Stimburst and Reinforce is really powerful. I mean, actually, Reinforce gets us another unit next turn, so we could potentially even find one that's useful. Let's go Stimburst and Reinforce. So we're just going to run straight towards Astra. So, as most people will know, Astra is sort of what's considered to be the strongest captain at the moment. However, I'm not convinced that she's broken. I'm not convinced that she's overpowered. Just maybe that she's got a little bit more of a little bit more of a sort of a generic benefit than others. So, for instance, playing a 2-drop on turn 1 is something they could absolutely do here. Oh, is this blink? So, okay, so they're blinking. Blinking is fine for us. We're actually going to be running straight at her. So we can't get in range there, but if they move to the front, we might actually be able to. Probably not, because it's only 50% increase. But running forwards, and if we can reinforce into a 3-drop. So how many 3-drops have we got left? We've got 1, 2. So we've actually got 3 units we could draw this turn. So let's reinforce first. Hope we get one of them. Snarling, excellent. So we're going to continue our run. And we are going to summon Snarling, probably just back here, keep it safe. And we're going to save the Reinforce, sorry, the Stim Burst, and because they don't necessarily know it's coming. So, given that they've got Plink and Astra, this is where a Toner Mystic Manteo could be good in the list. We're only going to have 3 Cinder next turn, but 4 the following. So what I think we're probably going to try and do is whatever comes over here. There you go, Chuck and Co. So we might actually be hitting Chuck and Co and trying to sort of just keep our distance there. They're still blinking us. Because I think if we move Snarling over here, hit Chuck and Go, and then Extilior can keep running forwards. That is going to be our best option here, and we're going to bank that Cinder. So we will Stim Burst.
Minds will baffle.
We'll move just out of... In fact, Chuck and Go's got... Yeah, that range there. So this keeps us just out of the toss range. We're going to use our range attack here. Hopefully hit. We do, that's fine. And then Extilior's going to run over here. And I actually think here, given that we're going to have 7 next turn, we can't use it. We're going to... With shield? No, it's not quite. Sword Justice. This is what we're going for here. Save us in dirt, play Mequani Thicket next turn, or Jailbreak. So, given that we've got Snaring, we might not need Jailbreak. But this here, so we've reduced the damage to 1, so we're going to be down to 15. But we're starting to close in on them, and I think we might even just be using Snaring here every turn, and then Jailbreak on Astra. Because that gives us a lot more option. I think they might have something like Ion Storm, or maybe even Orbital Bombardment. Okay, again, this is good for them, because it keeps them just out of Extilior's range. But, yeah, there's the blink again. But here, if we can move Extilior here, place... so it depends on what they place, but if we place Jailbreak down, Jailbreak stops Astra moving. It's this, whatever comes here is what matters. Because if this is something we can... That's fine, we're not worried about Toxoid, and that's all of their Cinder gone for the turn. So, yeah, get your 1 damage in. That, I think that was a mistake. Not a big one, but that was the wrong choice to make. So we're going to try and keep Chuck and Co hidden there. Get our reinforcements in. There we go. So, interestingly enough, Snaring is still going to want to range here. We've got Jailbreak coming over here. And then we're just going to get the melee attack in. And if they do get it back, we can now Sword of Justice and just take it. There we go, excellent. So they're now trapped, and then the following turn we're going to basically start moving around this way, and we're going to try and bring in Crosshair to get more damage done. So Astra hasn't taken anything yet, but will be doing so in the future. But who they start bringing out is the issue. Mequani Thicket could be good here as well as a tough character to deal with. So who's this? This is Furia, okay. So Furia can hit like a truck, but I think we can actually mostly move out of line of sight, especially with Stim Burst. In fact, with Stim Burst we might even be able to get in range with Extilior onto Astra next turn. We're still going to be blocking Chuck and Co. Although we could also just poke Furia, because Chuck and Co might not even be able to reach us if we go for it the other way around. So we might actually want to snare here. Okay, who are they? They're plinking Snaring. That's fine. What's funny is Chuck and Go has armor, so hasn't actually taken any damage from Snaring yet. So I think we genuinely might be checking out the bridge. So we've got Switchback and Crosshair. So range attack here. Get the hit. Back this way. We're going to Stim Burst both of these. I mean, we could do all 3, but...
With righteous intent.
Yeah, so Extilior can get into range.
I forget nothing.
So we get this melee going. Over here. And with this much Cinder left. I mean, Crosshair's guaranteed 6 each turn. So let's put her here.
Time is late.
We'll still Shield of Hope ourselves. Oh, I forgot to attack with Jailbreak. That's 2 damage wasted. So the thing here is going to be, we're probably going to be sacrificing Snaring. How's that stunning at you? That's fine. But yeah, so Snaring might be getting sacrificed to kill Furia, but if Furia can actually get an attack, then we're in a little bit more trouble.
I can work with that.
Yeah. So this is the point where we're absolutely just going to have to start bursting down Astra, because Extilior is going to be That's 88%. Yeah, it's going to hit us for 4, isn't it? Yep. So, Chuck and Co can come in. But I actually think we might even be able to... We can use Crosshair to take out Furia, actually. And then Snareling can snare Chuck and Co. Or something else. So this is the... When it attacks, gains 25% accuracy and immobile.
I got this.
Again, this blink is going to be the death of us. We need to actually rush this, I think. Thank you, Astra. So what's Astra on now? 16. So we've got 6. This is stunned? Yeah. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We've got 12 this turn.
Stay vigilant.
I'll protect you.
Torian Guardian is a great pickup here. Okay, so... Get our melee in here. Get our one target sword of justice.
You gave me no choice.
Maybe if we just get a better line of sight over this way. There you go, got the crit. Snarling's actually going to poke their Chuck and Co again. Get that hit in there, and then Torian Guardian is going to poke right in here, continue trapping Astra, and also give reduction to hit on our Extilior as well. So this should make it very hard for them to kill us here. They can't really get to Extilior. They've got one angle here for 2. Astra can deal 1. This is almost nothing from this because we've put everything in the way. I think this has worked out well. So we've still got a good bridge. We've got a thicket and switchback. They are going to die next turn. I don't know if there's a world in which they live. There might be if they've got, but they haven't even got anything in their bridge. I think that's where the issue comes in. I think they're only because this can't even move, so this has got like I think it was a 0% chance. So basically, I think they need this to crit and this to hit and crit. Yeah, no chance. And what are they bringing down? I don't know if Stasis... I mean, I do love Stasis Field Blink. I think that was good, but I don't know if this was the right target for Stasis Field. It might have just been Extilior. Get that extra damage in. And given our beautifully painted Torian Guardian here,
Give me another minute.
we might actually just be using him for the killing blow. Sure, shoot Extilior a little bit. And it missed anyway.
Fast toys.
Blink for health? Yeah. Absolutely, go for it. We will be ending this game next turn. Brilliant, so we're just going to melee attack first. And we want Torian Guardian to get the finishing blow. Beautiful. So that way we managed to lock down Astra, get off it as soon as you... Oh yeah, so here as well, we got Snarling up to the next rank, which is a Scrapper. And what we figured out is that what it does is... I think it gives a very small, potentially like a small reward of something as you get your character, like so your actual like account level up, but it also doubles the amount of XP you need to get to the next one. I'm not really sure what happens as you get to each one, but you might also notice we're a little bit further on in this as well. We did a couple of cargo runs just for fun. Given that the news that the cargo run system is changing, we thought we might as well try and eke a few more blanks out of it while it was still around in its current form. So, that was a really fun game. I'm going to go in straight for another one. So far, the lack of Torrent Mystic Manteo hasn't been an issue. However, I could see a world in which in that game it could have been. And I think also the fact that we managed to work towards the enemy captain rather than their characters, either I think would have worked in that instance there. We could have taken out Furia and not had to worry about you taking that damage. Okay, so we've still got 4, but they're not cheap, so... Again, Reinforced is probably the one. Invulnerable and Stun is nice, but it's 4 turns for each. Vortex and Lifeline. This is awkward. Let's go with the double, like the Stun and Vortex, because that stops the character moving, which also synergizes well with some other things. So luckily this one we have got Maximus, and that gives us a curve of Maximus, then do nothing, and then we can play either Jailbreak or Torian Guardian. whatever they're doing, we're going to be running straight towards them. Yeah, also their own Maximus, absolutely fine. So we're going to play their Maximus here, our Maximus here, so that they have to move to get to it. Because, as it stands right now, this didn't have line of sight. So we want this to come through. They've got Blink as well. Did they not Blink last? Oh, they did, yeah, I just didn't notice. So they're stowaway Blink. And they missed anyway. And then, I don't know if their Maximus is... Okay, it can get out here. Oh, it did get the hit. That was close. Okay, so...
Yes, much better.
Yeah, reducing costs. They can probably play something now. No, not quite.
Calculate or contemplate.
So, the choice is here. Do we go for Astra or do we go for Maximus? I actually think we go for Maximus. Because we're going to be the ones taking damage. And we're going to move back over here. And Extilior is going to come... Let's go slightly further back. So again, Astra needs to move towards us to do anything. We're not going to do anything here. We're going to save our Cinder because then we can bring back Switch back next turn.
What's this do?
Blink us, that's fine. Yeah, this is what we wanted them to do. Because now they've come out to play with us. And we can start looking at... If we've got jailbreak, yeah, so we can actually start putting them into place. That was a double crit, which is absolutely disgusting. But that's fine. These are going to be really useful this game, but depending on what they play now, if it's Taurian Guardian, I think we're in trouble. Not sure if this matters too much. It is Taurian Guardian. Wonderful.
We must do this.
So, now, Taurian Guardian needs to die. And I think we just have to go for it this turn. So we Sword of Justice.
You will not harm them.
Maximus is going to move, I think, to here. And try and get these hits off 50%. No. We've got one, so we'll hide over here. And I think we still have to get our melee and hope to crit.
Cease your
I think we're in trouble here.
defense first.
I think we're in a lot of trouble. Taurian Guardian is a nightmare. Probably my favourite unit, barring maybe Snareling. So I think this one we're out of this in a rapid way. We're taking 4 damage, possibly 6. We've only got 9 left. This is where Tona Mystic Manteo is a character we want to bring in. So at least this gets us a kill. Maybe this is a negative. Yes, it might not. Yeah, it does hit. And a crit. Yeah, the rest of this game we have to hide Extilior. So the fun thing here is that we can make him invulnerable next turn, and we can just have to play whatever our highest damaging unit is.
Didn't sleep last night.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that works. Well, normally I'd try and get in 2 games per video, but that was... See, there we go. So he's now Scrapper, Instructor, Scrapper. You can tell I like these units, they're the most used. And we're nearly at the next paint set. Go on, let's fit in one more then, because that was interesting. That didn't go to plan. So what I might do is actually edit the roster first, because that did feel like there wasn't even an out in our list particularly. Quetzali hasn't come up yet, which is fine. Crankbait would have been good there. I think Mequani Thicket is optimistic. We need to be doing things earlier on, so Mequani Thicket can go. Then Amplified Biter hasn't come up yet. Maximus is okay. I think I like all of this. I genuinely think it might just be Tona Mystic Manteo. You know, not a unit we're going to need every game. We probably ignore her a lot of the time, but in the games where she does matter, this will be a really, really helpful approach. So the Mequani Thicket is just too expensive. 6 cost, it's very unlikely we're going to play it that early. The poison's great, but I think we've got enough ways of dealing with other crew, because we've actually got a decent amount of damage output and demobilization, so I think it really does just come down to trying something a little bit different. And Tona being the sort of the end game, you can't kill me, I'm going to kill you kind of crew. I think that's what we need here. So I'm going to try my hardest. It is I've seen it before, I've done it before. It's really fun getting Extilior into a position where you just think, well, how am I ever going to get out of this? It's going to struggle every turn in the late game, and then you're gaining 8, or 7 or 8 like life back every single turn from Toner, and then still using your spin to win in your melee attack as well. It's really, really hard to deal with, especially if you can start killing things, get the shield of hope on units as
Who
well.
wants to get
Another Astra, another Founders Pack one. I'm genuinely so happy seeing these Founders Packs because it just means people have taken the time to really care about this game. Okay, so Reinforce and Plink is absolutely what we're going to pick here. We do need to keep going. Corrosive would be nice, but this is what we want here. Reinforce Plink. So it means we're not going to run out of crew. We're going to continue to be able to put some pressure on. We didn't get any too early, but we do have Crankbait available, so
That is
just going to
wise.
Plink there. Now, here's one question. I'm going to try this for science. This might be bad.
Forget nothing.
In a previous version, you couldn't fit through here. So I'm going to try and fit through here next. It does look like we can now, because in the playtest, this gap here wasn't actually a viable option.
Coming through.
Okay, if that's your turn, they're going to attack us. And that's it. So we're going to reinforce. Got Vitol, which is nice. Maximus is just always frustrating, but that's fine. I think here we're going to Plink Maximus. We can get him down over a few turns, and with Crankbait available,
Intriguing design.
this can work out for us.
Clear.
So we're going to place Crankbait over here. Because essentially what we want to do is make it so that Maximus can't get to us very easily, and we might be able to kill him next turn. So Astra is going to outvote. Oh, he's got an angle there. He moves so far. It's not guaranteed. No, he's got it.
Stop
Yeah.
this now.
And then where's he going to move? I wouldn't even be surprised seeing him move up here. That, I think, might be a mistake. Because that could allow us potentially to kill him with Crankbait next turn. We've only got 3, so we can't play anything anyway.
You
Oh,
get
what's
him,
this?
you get him.
Tower Arsenal. Okay.
Actions cannot be undone.
So the question I've got is, can we fit both of them here? I don't actually think we can. Tower Arsenal gives something rapid fire. I'm still going to Plink Maximus.
With righteous intent.
And I think this time we're actually just going to move back and hide. Because next time we've got 7, we can play Switchback, we can spin to win. We just want to make things difficult for them, and they've blocked their own Maximus off. So we're spending our time building up Cinder. They obviously get a bit more advantage over time. Okay, that's frustrating, but we can actually one-shot Tower Arsenal here.
Watching me dance.
Because we can pull her with
Last
Crankbait.
one out is discharged.
Another
Kidding.
boost morale. So they're going to run out of things on their bridge fairly soon.
A little help.
Lifeline. I mean, that's fine. Whatever. I'm not as worried about him anyway. And I think Crankbait's movement should be enough to get us a fairly solid pull here. So we get to reinforce again.
Resist them.
Jailbreak. Interesting. We've got the crosshair jailbreak thing going on. We've got 7 at the moment, so we can't play too much.
Calculate or contemplate.
What is our cheapest one? 4. So I think we're playing a 4-drop and doing our little combo here. So I think we're moving Extilior to here.
Prepare to face your fate.
Crankbait here. Let's grappling chain Tower Arsenal.
Over here.
And let's just go for the big hits.
We must do this.
Awkwardly, we can Sword of Justice, which I think we are going to do. But it does kill our own model, or damage our own model. And then here, because they've got Lifeline, I'm going to start plinking
Intriguing design.
their commander,
This
and we're
is
actually going to plot
frustration.
Jailbreak down. Let's pop Jailbreak down here. Astra can't run away now. We're going to just be running at Astra and seeing what they do. So we would have liked to get both, but we didn't want it to be in front because that's how we're going to get to them. Next time we've got 5, so we're bringing
What's my
Switch back in.
friends? Was
Okay,
that
so they can
sleep
haste
paralysis?
Shrapnel and get us some AoE. Yep, that's fine.
Meditating.
If there's enough space on some of these, if shrapnel moves back slightly, that's great for us.
A dent in
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Ooh, okay. Now we're starting to struggle a little. Yeah, we kind of just want shrapnel to move a little bit. In fact, we might even be able to move crankbait back, pull shrapnel out the way, which could work. So even if we just move back to like here, this could even leave crankbait still in range of what we need. It doesn't quite.
calculate or contemplate.
I mean, in that case, there's no point in doing that anyway. We can bring switch back in over here.
Wake up, recoil!
And yeah, I think we're just going for the hits. And then here I think we can actually plink for health. Because they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So blinking for health actually makes sense here, because over 2 turns we can save ourselves. I'm sure they actually want to be killing Jailbreak here. Oh, we're just... This area is awful for us, we're just kind of hemmed in a bit. We do want Crosshair as well.
Me.
But next time we can do Crosshair and...
Your thoughts.
Okay, well that just easily makes us want to just spin here.
Smart.
Ooh, medical recall. Okay. If they play it back again, would work. But that's the only thing in their hands. It's not that cheap.
Cease your
Is Max just
pestering.
going to move? Okay. So, can we stay alive? We've got 5 damage coming in from Furia. That's the problem. So Furia needs to be gone.
It's almost time.
So the question is, can we get
Your face will
in
get
range with so I think we move here, get switch back over here,
stuck.
switch it up, go for the ranged attacks over here, try and get one, didn't get any.
An insect sting.
This is my jam.
Okay, so we can do this. We need to Sword of Justice, hit our own unit yet again,
Are a distraction.
grappling chain that to us, hit it, and then plink.
Intriguing design.
Not overly happy about that, but it works. We've got Snarling. Still get our melee attacks in here. Shield of Hope ourselves.
Use this wisely.
I think Extilior can actually move, but let's move to just here. Yeah, that'll do. So again, we're not out of this, we are we're struggling. Medical recall. Oh, okay, whatever they place here is going to be frustrating. But I think my plan might actually have to be run Extilior over, get Crankbait down here, and use Extilior to kill Maximus, and try and deal with this a separate way. Yep, shrapnel's back. That's fine. Yeah, unstunned. Shooting somewhere, probably here. I'm not sure their ordering was correct there. Yeah, and then is Maximus going to come do his customary 2 damage?
Someone else.
So Extilior I think is running away, which is strange, but I think that's our best bet, because they can't play anything else down now. So if he runs away and heals himself, I think this just cleans this up eventually. We can bring down Amplified Bitol. Interesting, that might actually
Come on, I'm having
be enough to end the game, because that would be 3 plus 8, so it's 11. So yeah, Bitol could do it here. So let's bring Bitol then over here.
is on the horizon.
Get our melee attack in. And we get the crit. And we got the... Yeah, there we go. That was close. That, I could see me leaning in towards the screen then. Amplify Vital played her part there. That was a really nice little win. So, again, that's another round where Tola Mystic Manteo could have been really useful. We've got up to rank 7. Extilior's getting there. So, how far has he got? So he's only part way through. Jailbreaker's on his way. Snelling. Maximum Crankbait coming up. Excellent. Non-metallic copper paints. I don't think that's quite the definition of copper, but hey, it'll do. So, there we go. I've enjoyed that. I think we've got everything that we want here. We are earning blanks up, so I think one of the things I'm going to look at doing is saving the blanks for the meantime. I'm one of those people who have got the urge to just buy boosters, but I'm going to hold off for now until maybe a little bit later, see if we know what's coming in the drops, how efficient they can be, can use the same boosters, there's going to be new boosters, and I know that's a few months away, so we're probably going to end up spending some in the meantime just opening some to get extra rarities, because if we sort it by rarity now, we've got Broken Vengeance as our legendary, so we've got his gorgeous animations, and we're hopefully going to unlock more of these in the future as well. Then we've got SD as rare, we've only got a couple of rares as well, Savria's one of them. And then Toxoid, I think, was the last one, maybe? Yeah, so then we've only got like 4 rares and legendaries, but that's absolutely fine. But yeah, that list, I really enjoyed it. I think it was a lot of fun. I think it needs a little bit of work, maybe some more early units. So for instance, I'm not really going to swap anything out now. I'm just going to have a look at what we've got. So we could look at things like Taria Arsenal would get a bit of extra firepower in there. Rickety Backfire, I think I need to get my head around it and just find a way to make him useful. Drum Dancer Tilali could be really good if we are going melee focus, but at that point I think we lose basically we lose a lot of value in not being able to attack with multiple things at once. If we surround a unit and they're hiding in a corner, like this game, we only got 1 or 2 things attacking their Astra at a time, so having some ranged ones that can shoot through the gaps I think is absolutely the way to go. And then we could also consider things like Florio Lancer, Furia, just big endgame powerhouses, and to enable those, going for some cheaper things as well. So like, I'm not sure on Toxoid, but I think maybe things like Deadeye would be nice. As again, a 2-cast Estly, we are using our Cinder quite well, so that could be another efficient choice. And if we go Estly, we might go for Tilali anyway and give it 8 damage, that sort of thing. And then we'd think we're sort of bordering into just the heavy aggro side, and I think we like the bit of variety, the movement shenanigans as well. So I want to say thank you very much for watching. I've really enjoyed recording this. It's been a fun video, and make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons. I really do appreciate it when you do. Every single one of them actually does brighten my day a little bit, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments as well. Let us know what you think, and most importantly, do you like the painting of Taurian Guardian? Thank you very much for watching, and have a good day.